Hey, in this lesson, we're going to go over SWOT analysis for online course business planning. Hey, in this lesson, we're going to go over planning courses using something called SWOT analysis. So SWOT stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And you use it to think about where your strengths are, where you can go, what you need to do different, how to deal with competitors, and how to find and dominate your own space. Okay? So let's go over a couple of different examples. So first, let's start off with strengths. So these are, not only your content skills, but your experiences or functional abilities. Okay? So let's think about writing. So maybe you make courses for writing. So you might really be dominating like a certain kind of poetry, like spoken word or something like that. And so those are your strengths, and you should do more of that, double down, keep going, increase your revenues, raise your prices if you have to, because you might be the market leader there. So if, writing or poetry is your jam and you're doing great, keep going, do more of it, if anything. So now let's look at opportunities, and let's use sewing as an example. So maybe you're doing good at sewing, but now you have the ability to either niche down to a certain type of sewing, or sewing for, fashion versus sewing for, stay-at-home moms. So these are all these different opportunities. So you can niche down in a certain thing. You can also go adjacent to other neighbors. So maybe you're really good at sewing or quilting, and you want to go to crocheting. I don't know the difference. But as an example, you can go ahead and start to expand to different kinds of courses. So those would be great things to leverage your strength and take advantage of opportunities that are there that you can easily grab a good market share. Sewing, might have other growth areas or emerging trends. So as an example, maybe cricket or patterns, or there's some new kinds of sewing machines. Those are all different things that you can get into using your sewing base as a strength and expand to those new areas as technologies evolve, processes evolve, or even old things that come back again. You're in a great position to take advantage of those. So those would be opportunities. Another angle would be to analyze your weaknesses. So as you're analyzing what course should you do, think about maybe what you're not so good at. So let's use audio as an example, audio editing. So maybe you know how to audio edit video, but multi-track recording for musicians that are creating new soundtracks, that's not your thing. So first of all, you can start to learn and improve your skills on your weaknesses. So you're sort of going to manage your weaknesses. You can also, maybe there's a certain part of your business, like maybe you just need help with a certain type of audio editing, like removing sound or converting text to speech or something like that. So those are things that potentially you can get a contractor, hire, maybe you have a partner, or you might buy some software or something like that. Okay? So along with buying software, that might include tools, hardware, apps, different things like that. Maybe it's a different mic, maybe it's a certain mixer, or something for your studio. So there's a variety of things you could do to invest to kind of strengthen up some of your weaknesses and minimize the impact. Finally, there are threats. And so let's use 3D as an example. So let's just say you teach some courses on 3D. Maybe you teach AutoCAD, but you want to protect from your competitors. Maybe there's a bunch of 3D classes for gaming, right? 3D design of gaming. Maybe you're teaching 3D fundamentals so that it could be used for 3D gamers, or maybe, interior house designers. So those are all different kind of angles. So you might want to protect from competitors, or you might want to get ahead. Maybe there's a new 3D file format, some new 3D software. So while you were previously strong on one software, you can go ahead and you know that the AutoCAD company or Maya or Adobe, one of them is going to release some new 3D program. So you can get ahead, start getting training. And so when the time comes, if that new software really does, flourish, you're in a position to teach that new software, that new 3D techniques. And finally, if you really do have a significant threat, you can exit those markets. So maybe you were an expert at an old 3D program that isn't used anymore. So you can either provide those at a discount or remove those from your catalog as you go ahead and leverage your strengths and your opportunities. Okay, so it's just important to think about what are the threats, what are your weaknesses, so that you can adjust your next wave of classes to bring in some good money earning classes. Okay, so that's SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And you're going to use that to think about maybe as you're figuring out what's the next course I'm going to do. What should be a master class versus kind of a mini course? So as you're thinking about all of those things and you're looking at the market, what's already out there? What can I dominate? What are the things that my customers love on my email list and my blog, as well as maybe what you coach at or your community? So those are all good things to think about as you're figuring out your next wave. All right, I hope this lesson has helped you. Good luck.